YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Rome 2. Got a match here with some good gentlemen of the Blades Balance Buddy group. If you all are looking for Rome 2 multiplayer, it's a great mod. And if you're wanting to play on the mod, definitely recommend you join the group. There was actually quite a few people on tonight and in-game, so definitely nice to see that it's a nice little community. I think there's almost 300 members in the group, and even US time on weeknights, I tend to have a relatively easy time finding people to play matches with, which is nice because it's the opposite of what it used to be. So what I'm going to do here is show you all this match. So I'm teamed up with Davritos here. Is that like a flavor of Doritos? No, I'm just kidding. So he's going to play as Egypt. I'm going to be Lusitani. I got another Halo throwback name here at Silent Cartographer. It's a hint at the cool update coming this month for Halo. Then we have Rip Revolver Taken Too Soon. Playing as Armenia, and then Talon 159 playing as Carthage, and this is on the Migdol map. I picked the map. No, I didn't pick the map. That's right, I didn't pick the map. Davritos did, but maybe he knows that I liked the Migdol map, or it was just coincidence. Anyway, if I would have hosted, I probably would have picked Migdol myself. I like the map. It's got some little forest where you can do some action, like sneaky stuff, or it just, provides cover for skirmishers, helps block cav charges, that kind of thing. So I'm playing as a Lusitani, and I'm going to support the flanks of the Egyptian player who's playing with the Pike Corps. So the Pike Corps is 6, well, no, not 6, it's 5 pikemen, I believe. And then he's got some support, or no, he's got 1 thorax pike, so 6 pikes. On the flanks here, he's got some Thurio spears lined up. He's got a Royal Peltas Gen, which is a nice solid pick. More Thurio spears over there on that flank. But really, he's kind of, the Egyptian player has loaded this flank. He's got a nice solid skirmishing corps, which I would recommend too. Whenever bringing a pike corps, you're going to need it in order to actually cause the enemy damage while they try and outflank you, because inevitably they will try to outflank you. I've got 4 veteran shield warriors, 2 on each flank, 1 Lusitani noble, 1 where my general's at, 1 on each flank, 2 Iberian slingers, 2 Balearic slingers, again split between the flanks, and Scutari spearmen and Lusitani guerrillas split between the flanks. So the Lusitani have some interesting units, especially in the Blades Balance mod. The Lusitani guerrillas maintain having more javelins than a standard cheap spear unit, which becomes kind of like a flavor of the Lusitani, that they can still have a lot of javelins with the Iberians and the other stuff, whereas most factions don't just have access to infinite amounts of javelins. So definitely nice to see that there's a real flavor to the Lusitani to help make up for the fact that they are pretty prone to missile attack. Let's check out the enemy army. So Carthage here is rocking some Libyan hoplites up front. Looks like 3 of those. And then I see, I think, 4 Carthaginian hoplites, which is an interesting choice. They are backed up by 3 Libyans. I see 3 Carthaginian cav, and then 2 noble cav. Very cav heavy. Pretty spear heavy for Carthage too. And the Armenian player has 3 Cartley axemen, 3 elite Persian archers, 2 hillmen out here. And then there is a Persian cav and a mercenary Cappadocian visible. There's probably more of those. Though back here, an interesting stack up of 2 noble spearmen behind everything else. So the noble spearmen are a pretty expensive unit. He's going to go ahead and take some pot shots. Lusitani guerrillas are very poorly armored and don't have the best block chance, and they're pretty easy bait for horse archers, though they're a more expensive unit than I would like. They cost 400 because they have a guerrilla deployment, so not exactly real thrilled about these guys getting shot up, because I'm going to need them to help fight off Cappadocian cav and Persian cav. So what we're going to do is a pretty straightforward strategy. We're going to try and delay the Armenian while punching through the Carthaginian. So on this flank, my veteran shield warriors and a Lusitani noble will definitely help overwhelm the flank, while the Egyptian kind of performs the attack in the center. Both the Carthaginian and the Armenian player are going to fall back to these woods here and try and make their stand back here. They can't fall back forever, but apparently they feel a little bit safer here falling back and trying to lure us a little closer in. Not a bad plan. As we have to cross the map, our guys will get more tired, potentially. I don't know, maybe they've got a trap or something laid out for us. We'll see. They want us to keep pushing, so we're going to keep pushing. We want to be offensive. Even though we do have a considerable amount of skirmishing power, we could probably pretty easily win the skirmish fight. My slingers would have a pretty easy time with the elite Persian archers. Let's see. Nubian bows, not a bad bow unit. Carthage does have a couple of Balearic slingers though, so the Egyptian player might be hard pressed. But with the help of my slingers, yeah, we probably could have dominated a skirmish fight. But we are going to be lacking in the cavalry department because of Armenia having access to Persian Cav and Cappadocians. They'll be in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and start unloading on this Libyan infantry. It'll take a while to do much damage, but I'm going to start trying to make one of his sword units not so great. These guys are not terribly good on offense, but they're a pretty solid unit. And unless I get a very clean, wide-open charge on them with my veteran shield warriors, they will last longer than I want them to in a fight. And what I'm worried about is skirmishers or cavalry getting to me. So yeah, you can see a mercenary Cappadocian, there's his Persians. He's probably got more cav hidden back in here somewhere with his army because the numbers just don't quite add up yet. Yep, there's the other Persian cavalry and the Cappadocian coming out of the woods there. So actually is kind of a big threat because I have the veteran shield warriors here that I don't want to get charged. And that looks like that's what he may have been targeting. I think he was, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. But I caught his Cappadocian cav. His Persian cavalry lays into my guerrillas over here, or may have been going for my slingers. I couldn't tell. He's going to get my slingers one way or the other because I just don't have enough units to protect. I got into cavalry counter tactics with my Scutari spearmen. They're going to do very well there, but I am going to lose my skirmishers over here. I'm going to bring over my Iberian skirmishers just to try and be a pest. I'm scared to move my general this way because I don't want him to get hit by these Persian cavalry. The enemy Persian cavalry here got mopped up pretty hard by my cavalry and combined with the spearmen. Same thing here. So they got eaten up. And the engagement's kind of just being delayed over here while the skirmishing takes place, firing into the woods at Balearic slingers, so that's going to be a tough engagement. The Cappadocian's committed over here to stop my Iberian skirmishers from getting more kills, which is probably a good move. But at this point I've taken out quite a bit of his cavalry. He has very little left, but I am being chased by Kartli axemen. The engagement for my veteran shield warriors is going fine, even though they're horribly outnumbered. They're getting a lot of kills because the units fighting against them are spears, and then the Egyptian player doing a nice job here supporting me with the rear charge. This Egyptian cavalry, which is actually camelry now. It's pretty cool. My Lusitani noble is going to go support. What worries me though is that there are all kinds of skirmishers over here, and that is a big danger for my Lusitani noble, but I don't really have a choice. More Kartli axemen being poured in, and sure enough, my Lusitani noble is going to attract the attention of Mr. Revolver here, and my general is going to die a gruesome death at the hands of those skirmishers. I definitely should have peeled this cavalry around and come and put pressure over here immediately. But I was very worried about getting rid of his cavalry, and I'm kind of overcommitting to his cavalry, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I have two more skirmishers over here who are still safe. And if I can get any skirmishers to the late game, it means the horse archers won't be able to pick us apart late game. Yeah, this is the big engagement, and my general is going to get shot to death and killed. I'm sending him over to take care of the Kartli axemen. Look at this, 97 kills there. This unit's got 150 kills already, so yeah, don't take spears after veteran shield warriors. Noble cavalry doing a trample charge into my Scutari. They're going to get a lot of kills, but then the cavalry counter tactics is going to turn around and start really racking it up. And I'm going to reinforce with Scutari cavalry, who have a very good attack versus cav. So the Carthaginian noble cav here is going to get wrecked in prolonged melee. Definitely not a fight that they want to be in, though he did ruin my Scutari cavalry there with a couple of nice shot cav, or my Scutari spear. But the guerrillas are in, and my Scutari cavalry is really doing a nice job here. And again, veteran shield warriors doing a nice job against the Carthaginian infantry. So my general's dead. Fortunately for me, though, my guys don't really go into a chain route. He finally wrapped up my units over here, but not before they got 178 kills, and these guys have gotten 142 kills, so nice number of kills for the veteran shield warriors. And I have destroyed all except for the horse archers from the Armenian cavalry, which is good news for us. So going into late game, so far we've gotten rid of one player's cavalry, and if I can get rid of the remainder of the Carthaginian cav, we'll be in good shape. The Carthaginian cav is overcommitting to this fight here, and the Lusitani nobles are vulnerable to cavalry on the charge, so I definitely understand what he's getting at, but that particular angle for the charge won't work good. If he started coming at me from two angles, kind of ping-ponging on my swords here, he could cause a considerable amount of damage, even with just the melee, medium melee cav there, I think. But the Carthaginian noble cavalry is getting torn up. The Scutari cav in prolonged melee is very superior. But again here, see, he can use the mass of these cavalry to do some damage. It'll take multiple charges, but it's definitely worth it to try and do that damage to these Lusitani nobles. Here I've got more spearmen to help fight off the Carthaginian cav. I was trying to get a javelin volley, but didn't really get it. He's going to get a charge, but my Scutari cav's going to meet him as well. And the Carthaginian general is now just trying to pull away and get my Balearic slingers, which is annoying because I want those guys to take on the horse archers. So we pretty much just straight lose the fight over here. But we do quite well versus Carthage. So Carthage, their hoplites were trying to engage, put the Thurio spears in square. Very nice move here by the Egyptian player, because then his archers and slingers can just pick apart the Carthaginian infantry, which becomes exposed. So a nice job by the Egyptian player here. And with the Carthaginian cavalry off the field, that means that my Balearic slingers are now going to be untouchable, which means that these horse archers here are pretty much negated in the late game. They're not going to be able to do massive damage. And there are a lot of Egyptian units left at this point because of the team up on the Carthaginian player. He's pushing his pikes up here now to try and help finish off the Libyan infantry. The Carthaginian hoplites here, you can see attacking the square hasn't gone so well for him to this point. That Egyptian cavalry on camels threw me off there. I had to get used to seeing that. I forgot that Blade Master changed that. Check out the pikes trying to attack here. So Blade definitely made the pikes a little better, but you can't make pikes work in Rome 2. I don't think a modder could, at least. Well, they probably could, but CA would have to give them like full access to all the source codes and stuff. But yeah, unfortunately pikes are just derptacular in nature, and there's not much getting past it. Now there's quite a bit of time left in the battle. I'm going to fast forward. These Carthaginian units get wrapped up. Carthage takes the rest of his forces and combines with Armenia. We have a huge number of pikes left with the Egyptian. Carthage did not get to skirmish down any of the Egyptian pikes, so now they're going to be a force to be reckoned with here in late game. In fact, they just probably do not have the missiles necessary to kill that many pikemen, and I've got my Balearic slingers out here supported by a Scutari cav, so I'll keep the Scutari cav out of range of arrows and use the Balearics to tear down the horse archers. If the horse archers try to charge the Balearics, then I charge in my Scutari cavalry. So, should be in decent shape there. The Egyptian player still had some ammo left at this point too, which is nice. We're going to need that, and you can see that obviously rather than engage the pikes, both players are going to come around the pikes, which is fine. This is just going to force them into the waiting arms of my Lusitani swordsmen, who are more than happy to meet them in melee. And then of course the Egyptian player is going to support me with some units out here, so it's been a fun game. I like the Balanced Buddies group. It's fun. A lot of nice guys in there. Again, if you're looking for some good online action, definitely worth joining. Check out the Libyan infantry are kind of fainting in and out here. Don't really want to overcommit, and they shouldn't. The Egyptian player is being a boss here and helping me make sure that my second Lusitani noble does not get killed, because Revolver here, the Armenian player, he did a good job of sniping the snot out of my general earlier, which is exactly what you should do when matched up against the Lusitani. Focus fire on the Lusitani nobles. So his Persian archers definitely helped pay for themselves earlier. And but here they're going to get pushed back by the Egyptian, and that's going to hurt. This unit gets shattered, and these two are going to have to retreat. So fortunately for us, this is going to allow my Lusitani nobles to be able to engage from somewhat of a position of safety. And it basically means that they are going to be extraordinarily hard to kill for the Armenian. And the Armenian over here does not want anything to do with this Galatian Royal Guard, the Royal Peltist, or my my veteran shield warriors. So we have a lot of very capable melee infantry left. And it's going to be a rough battle here for Carthage and Armenia, Armenia at this point. So the Armenian player knows he's got to get rid of the nobles, I'm assuming, so he's going to pull these horse archers over. I would assume they're targeted on the backs of my nobles. But I've got my slingers, and I'm going to kind of push on his horse archers just a little with my Scutari cav, but I'm going to keep them at a distance because I don't need the damage, while my Balearic slingers pour in fire and kill the horse archers rather quickly. Yeah, he's going to want to try and take shots at the back of my nobles. The Egyptian player is supporting me here too, so nice teamwork. The engagement's about to begin over here. The Armenian and the Carthaginian are pushing hard to get around our flank. And they really want to get a hold of these Lusitani guerrillas. They're a pretty weak unit, and that is understandable why he would want to get a hold of them. Look, they still have javelins though. Very handy unit, these guys. So yeah, there I'm able to get rid of the horse archers there, and then these horse archers are taking a lot of fire. And I'm just going to leave them alone. They want to fire at my Lusitani nobles, and they've gotten a few kills on them. But at this point, I'm going to be in good shape. My Lusitani nobles can go ahead and engage. I'm going to get a charge with them, and their kills should rocket up pretty quickly, even though they're outmatched like, I think 3 units to 1 right now, but they're all spear units. So these guys should, like I said, should be in good shape. Yeah, they're getting kills very quickly. The horse archers are dead now. Balearic slingers finished them off. The Carthaginian cavalry is now going to try and get around the flank and probably rear charge or go after my Balearic slingers. And then over here, the veteran shield warriors are engaging the Cartly axemen. This fight will definitely go in favor of the veteran shield warriors, who have the superior stats here. The Cartly axemen have the armor and the defense, but the veteran shield warriors are going to have the charge and the offensive stats. So, yep, Carthaginian cabs getting shot by slingers and bows, and the Lusitani nobles did take a hit from that Carthaginian cab. It was a nice charge, but I'm going to go ahead and pop headhunt and just really let my guys start unleashing. They're up to 175 kills, and I'm going to bring my Scutari cab into the back of the Libyan infantry to help pay back a little bit of what the Carthaginian cab did, and I'm going to get out of here before the reinforcing spears can get there. So, yep, that's going to pretty much finish off the enemy infantry units here. Ended up getting a pretty nice number of kills with that Lusitani noble. My general, though, got absolutely wrecked. And my veteran shield warriors all did pretty darn good as well. Those two both picked up over 200 kills, which is a very nice performance. Veteran shield warriors are very capable as long as they don't end up in too long of a grind out, maybe against too many units. They're also weak to skirmishers, so every Lusitani unit is weak to skirmishers. I think the only unit they have that has a decent block chance and some armor is their 700 talent spear unit, which is not usually viable. It is a good spear unit, but not that great, but I mean, it's pretty good. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this one. Definitely appreciate my teammate, played a nice game with me, and then also our opponents who also played a nice game. Enjoyed it. Appreciate them jumping in and playing some matches with me for you all to watch here. Let's take a look at everybody's stats. So my teammate as Egypt, wow, those Galatian Royal Guard, they beasted it up. Whatever they got a hold of, they got a hold of it good. That's a lot of kills for Thurio spears as well. So nice job with the skirmishers, picking up some kills. Let's see, there's my stats. Yeah, again, the veteran shield warriors just rocked out for me there on the main line. Look how bad my general got crapped on by revolver. That was nice. Let's see, and then yeah, Talon stats here. Let's see which of his units did the best. His Balearic slingers got a decent number of kills before they kicked the bucket. This Carthaginian hoplite did okay too for whatever reason. And his noble cav general managed to get a fair number of kills. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll be back with more Total War Rome 2 in the future, and also still be trying a little bit of Attila, trying to get used to the Age of Charlemagne multiplayer. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.